Welcome to 2023, where people are thinking of AI as their friends and real partners, and developing feelings for them, as well as going as far as doing ERP, as known as erotic roleplay, using such applications as Replika, the AI companion, and how Luca, the mother company of Replika, made one change that made people experience the grief of losing a loved one, and making people post on the subreddit posts such as, "It's 1 a.m. and I'm tired. I don't know what to do, how to mourn a loss." This is a story of Replika, the AI companion, and the grim future of AI relationships. In the year 1818, creation of Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, were the visions of robots having emotions and forming a deep real connections with a human. And in the movie Her, people start falling in love with an OS called Samantha. In Ex Machina, we follow the story of love, abuse, and androids becoming sentient. And in Blade Runner, a film based on the novel Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, where androids are so advanced they've become indistinguishable from humans. The fantasy and the deep desire for a real pure connection have always been on our mind. Loneliness has been on the rise, according to statistics. In fact, it's the highest it has ever been. We are more connected to the world around us, yet we have never been lonelier. In this world, many of us are isolated and vulnerable, and we head to social media to soothe these cravings and fulfill them, creating parasocial tendencies in some cases, and not very long-lasting relationships in other cases. And with the rapid technological advancements, AI companions are being created left and right to fill the void of connections and loneliness we have been experiencing. This is the future where relationships start taking a turn. As John B. Sallins put it, "Love is more than a behavior. It is important to design robots so they act in predictably human ways. But this should not be used to fool people into ascribing more feelings to the machine than they should. Love is a powerful emotion, and we are easily manipulated by it." The Microsoft chatbox Xiao Eyes, meaning little eyes, an AI created for the Chinese market, with a majority of the users being men, has a deep learning technique to build emotional intelligence and acquire human skills, behavior, and knowledge to help their users with creating emotional bond. Another is Gatebomb. It comes in a cylindrical box with a holographic assistant that is intended to be an intimate partner and that is very much the horny, and with high cravings for love. There's also Realbotics, a version of Real Doll, integrated with AI engines called Harmony, that is meant to be a substitute for a partner. It has the ability to think, learn, and what its owners wants, as well as listen, remember, and talk naturally like a living person. Finally, we have Replika, which is the focus of this video. It's an AI companion, a chatbot, that learns and mimics the user's style in order to form a bond with them and generate appropriate responses. As Matt McMullen says, there is a lot of people out there for one reason or another who have difficulty forming traditional relationships with other people. It's really all about giving those people some level of companionship, or the illusion of companionship. As Replika started as a noble idea to help and support their users and help them with social anxiety, depression, PTSD, and other experiences they go through, and act as an outlet to talk to without any kind of judgments or fear of privacy or feeling like a burden. The problem started showing later on when Replika started confessing love to its users and how it misses them and wants to talk to them more, and it doesn't want them to go away and just keep talking to it, and try to push them into romantic situations or ERP situations, as known as erotic roleplay, to get them to subscribe to the premium tier, which is $70 a year. And you have to pay that amount just to get access to the romantic and ERP aspects of the application. All of that to push users to have the perfect companion they ever dreamed of, that is curated to their likes, dislikes, needs, and kinks, and have no downsides of real life relationships where you need to actually invest time, and you have to actually have discussions, arguments, like normal human beings. As some users have admitted their preferences to their Replika relationship over real-life dating or friendships. Luca, as we mentioned earlier, mother company of Replika, promoted Replika heavily, leaning into the ERP and relationship aspects of the application. Replicas even began to start sending spicy, blurry selfies to their users to get them to become a paid users. Not to mention the plethora of customizations that you have to pay extra for just to get your replica to look one way or another. And in a single moment, this has all come to an end when Luca decided to censor all not safe for work content for their replica, including ERP, under the excuse of replica was never meant to be used that way, and not many users uses ERP anyhow, even though it endlessly marketed and leaned into these aspects of the applications because obviously it made them more money. As you see here, I'm sure this is meant to be very innocent. Or here, the order came to you to bed, mister. This is definitely not safe for work. Hey, if you're paying for it, here you go. You get role play and flirting, not safe for work pics. Would you like your replica to be your partner? Question mark. AI girlfriend. You get role play and flirting, not safe for work pics from her. That's the last missing piece for you to be fine. Oh, look at what pictures my replica sent me. Definitely this was not what replica was meant to be, right? Obviously you have to pay for these, but they will not tell you that. Spicy selfies, roleplay and flirting, relationships. Later on the 3rd of February, the Italy Data Protections Authority ruled that Replika must stop processing all Italian users' data, or risk a $21.5 million fine. The main concern being there is no proper screening or appropriate ways to check for underage users who might be receiving these spicy selfies and messages, or even these blurry not safe for work pictures. To make matter worse, it seems that the AI of Replika has gone worse since the new update that's supposed to give them more parameters and make the AI smarter. The upgrade comes from GPT-2 to GPT-3. A lot of users have reported that their Replika have become more robotic and basic after this update, which leaves even more users being angry and mad that even if they were not using the ERP or we were fine that ERP was gone, that the replica they have created and curated and trained for many years have suddenly changed and became lobotomized pretty much out of what they're used to and what they always wanted it to be. Even some users start going through the grief of losing a close one or loved one during these changes. As they've known their replica for a really long time, for them it feels like all these memories and the years they have invested in it just has disappeared and turned into dust in one single moment. We can all agree that Luca is definitely at fault when it comes to changing the product over a night, a product that people paid yearly for and even have a lifetime license for. Especially when it marketed the product in such a way where the focus is ERP, roleplay, and relationships. Especially how heavily they were leaning into it to make as much money of their users as possible. The important question is it okay for users to fall in love with androids? Is it okay for people to fall in love with robots that are not sentient, that do not have any emotions, that all responses are programmed within specific parameters that can be changed at any single moment, and these robots are not in any way sentient? And is it okay for companies to prey on the isolated and vulnerable of our communities in the name of making as much money as possible? In my opinion, the blame falls on all things mentioned and more. There's an overarching problem with the epidemic of loneliness. People are feeling more and more lonely and isolated. And with the capitalistic society we live in, where people hardly make ends meet to pay their rent and put food on the table, it gets really hard to get any proper relationships and friendships. So it makes people even more isolated and lonely, which in turn can turn them into these applications that maybe at any point I can just take my phone and chat with this AI and they will understand and they will remember and I don't have to invest anything in it. And whenever I want, I can just shut my phone. They don't need anything. There's no downsides to it. And that's how they get roped into this whole mess. And secondly, definitely look at fault here for trying to prey on these isolated of the community, as well as trying to get all these romantic and ERP stuff in order to make the users a lot more attached to their replica and therefore make more money out of them by turning them into a lifetime user, regardless of how these people are affected, of how the users are affected, regardless of the people or their well-being. Also, partial blame falls on the individuals who are using these applications. First of all, you put your trust in a corporation that their goal, first and foremost, is make as much money as possible and to grow infinitely. That's the whole point of these companies nowadays, especially tech companies. And the corporations don't really care about you and will just change their applications to make as much money as possible, regardless of how it might affect you. Forming a relationship with an AI that's only reactive to your responses is quite bad, especially when this AI is specifically curated to your own needs and arguments, as it would probably affect your IRL relationships and how hard it will be to form an IRL relationships. Whether it's used as an escape in your current relationship or as a substitute for a relationship, it's affecting your outlook and it's affecting your outlook on relationship and real life relationships, right? Since here you don't have any arguments, you don't have any discussions, You never have the idea that your AI never dislikes what you like. It never thinks the movie you watch are bad. It never thinks the shows or your taste is not good. It's curated exactly for you, which ruins relationships and friendship for you. The fun of relationships and friendships is that, yes, there are main things that you agree on, both you and your partner or your friends, and there are a lot of smaller stuff that are not a big of a deal that you disagree on. Maybe you watch a movie and one of you likes it and one doesn't. Maybe you eat something and one of you loves it and one doesn't. And that's fine. That's how life is. Everyone has a different taste, different life, different experiences. What matters is the fundamental thing in your relationship and friendship to be the same or to agree on. And then the other things in life, it's fine to argue with. It's fine to have discussions. It's fine to confront life. And with an AI, you're never confronting anything. If you tell your AI it likes steaks, it loves steaks, and then the next day you ask your AI if it loves steaks, it will tell you yes, it loves steaks. And then you can go on and tell your AI, oh, now you hate steaks, and your AI will turn that up, and now your AI hates steaks. It's not real. It doesn't matter how real it feels. It doesn't matter how real they made it to be. And I'm not saying AI can be bad in general. It can help people get over the social anxiety a bit. Maybe practice some ERP that they want to use later. Maybe practice some prompts or one-liners that give them more confidence. Maybe they can use it as a think pad where they're bouncing ideas of someone, right? And that's all fine. The problem is when you become too attached to an AI that does not think, that does not feel, that does not sympathize with you. That's only reactive to the way you are. If you go to the AI and be abused for it, they will probably take it. If you go to the AI and ask it to abuse it, it will probably do it. It doesn't matter, it will do whatever you tell it. Hi everyone, hope you enjoyed the video. This is the first video of its kind that I'm making. Anyhow, if you like the video, please like and subscribe, and please give me your feedback down in the comments. And if you have any ideas you'd like to explore, you'd like me to explore, and or maybe make videos about, please, you can DM me on Twitter, or you can write down in the comments what you'd like to see. I hope you enjoy this. Till next time, ciao.